Okay, so far we spoke about R1, which is that an increase in digital infrastructure would mean that there's an increase in G, and an increase in G triggers the multiplier process, which then leads to an increase in real national income. Right. So this is what we've done for R1. Right. Okay, so now because it's a 15-mark question, we're going to see whether we have any EVs ones or not. Okay, it turns out that we have. Okay, and the EV ones I'm going to talk about the extent of the increase. Because they ask you to discuss the impact, you can discuss whether this arrow is going to be small or very large. Okay, so to talk about the extent, I'm going to bring 2 points. One is I call it the state of the economy. The state of the economy is just a trim term for where the economy is on the AS curve. Where I am on the AS curve. This is but this is the official name, so you should memorize this name. Okay, where I'm on the AS curve means am I on the vertical section of the hockey stick, or am I on the horizontal section of the hockey stick? Okay, so we're going to talk about that as well. Then after that, we're also going to talk about something called the size of the multiplier. Right. So we mentioned that the increase in AD causes cycles of spending and respending, right? But the extent of this cycles and spending and respending is different depending on different countries. So we also talk about that. Okay. So for some countries, national income will increase by it will definitely increase more than proportionally. That's for sure, right? But whether it increases more than proportionally or like way more than proportionally. Okay. Yeah. So we start with the first one, which is the state of the economy. Where the economy is on the hockey stick determines how much national income increases lah. Okay. Okay. So actually in Singapore, right, our unemployment rate is actually very, 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 very low. Right. It's around less than 3% actually these days. Right. Suggesting that the economy is operating near full employment level. So what this means is that on the AS curve, very likely Singapore is somewhere near here. Right. So this is general price level, this is real national income, and so this is Y naught, and this is your full employment level, YF. Right. So you can see, right, the gap between Y naught and YF is very, very minimal. Right. So therefore it means that you have very, very low unemployment rates lah, right? So if you keep increasing AD further, that means you go and push your digital infrastructure and you go and push your AD. Sorry. Can't bring the. Oh, this is the problem with using an iPad. So if you keep pushing your AD and you push it here, right, then you can still get increases of national income up to this level, right? It's quite minimal lah. But then you at the red line, right, you still go and push some more. You go and push to the red dash line. You get no increases in national income because you are again at the vertical section of the hockey stick lah, right? So any increase in AD thereafter, without any accompanying rise in productive capacity, means your AS don't shift. You assume ceteris paribus, your AS don't shift. It's only a minimal increase in your GDP. So like what I shown you, you either increase it by this small arrow, or for the case of the red solid to the red dash, there's no increase in real national income. So to sustain increase in real GDP, you need to increase productive capacity. Otherwise, the increase in RMY is limited by SG's productive capacity. Okay, so this is the first evaluation point, the position and where you are on the hockey stick. So if you look at my previous R1, I drew that I was here, right, or the horizontal section of the hockey stick. Then fantastic, the multiplier process can take its full effect, right? But then if you are at the vertical section of the hockey stick, then that's not possible lah, right? Okay. And so that's the first evaluation point, where you are on the hockey stick, i.e. state of economy. Okay. Okay. Second point. So like what I told you, all countries through the multiplier process will enjoy a real more than proportional increase in real national income. But whether it increases more than proportion like that, or way more than proportionally, depends on something called the size of the multiplier. Okay, I want to start off with actually bullet number 4, which is the formula for the multiplier. Okay, so the multiplier, to calculate the multiplier, is actually the reciprocal of MPS, MPT, and MPM. So what is this? This is the marginal propensity. So I mentioned this in the multiplier lesson already, right? So it's the marginal propensity. So it's the marginal propensity to save, tax, and import, right? So for these, right, the larger these are, the smaller the multiplier. Okay, I say again, the larger these are, savings, taxes, and imports, the smaller the multiplier. And the reason why is because if you save, if you get taxed, if you spend a lot on imports, you are spending less to increase the income of your friend. If you save, if you spend a lot on taxes, you spend a lot on imports, it means necessarily that you are spending less to increase the income of your friend, who will then spend again less that to increase the income of his friend, right? And so the larger these are, the smaller the multiplier size, right? So for Singapore's case, actually this one you need to know. Okay, Singapore's case, our multiplier is very, very small, and the reason why it's very, very small is because MPS is very, very high, right? MPS stands for marginal propensity to save. So why do we save a lot? The main reason is because we are forced to save, right? So every month I have a certain amount of income, but the government takes away about 20% of my income. Okay, they take away but they'll put it aside for me. Okay, in the end it's still my money, but it's taken away because I'm forced to save. Okay, because I'm young, it's about 20%. As you grow older, it starts to decline a bit to about 17% or so. So older workers, they have less. They say that this rate is a bit less, right? So MPS is very high because of this is our social security scheme. It's called the CPF scheme, right? And then we also have the marginal propensity to import, which is very, very high, right? So this is high because we have a lack of natural resources, so no choice, we have to import. So what this means is that savings rates are very high, import rates are very, very high, and so therefore a lot gets withdrawn at each cycle. So it means very little is spent on induced consumption. So in other words, to increase the income of your friend, right? And increasing your income of your friend in econs terms means re-enters the circular flow for a subsequent round of spending, right? So it means national income won't increase as significantly, okay? So again, just to recap what we did for EV, right? So EV1, we spoke about the state of the economy. So where you are on the hockey stick. If you are the vertical range, then necessarily national income will increase by a lot, right? But if you're EV2 is the size of the multiplier, right? Which for Singapore is very, very low because of our high MPS as well as MPM. Okay, so all this will affect the extent of the increase in real national income. Okay, so we are using the extend kind of technique.